As plans are in place to improve on the capacity of stakeholders in the St. Mary's Biosphere Reserve, the question can be asked, why is the St. Mary's Biosphere Reserve important to St. Kitts and Nevis and the communities that make up the reserve? Marquisa O'Loughlin is the National Coordinator of the Man and Biosphere Program in St. Kitts and Nevis.
St. Kitts and Nevis is a part of the top 25 most hazardous areas in the whole world. So when you think about this, we have to think about better ways for which we can sustain our country and to just be more resilient towards matters of climate change and natural disasters.
Ms. O'Loughlin also argued the uniqueness of the Man and Biosphere Program and particularly the St. Mary's Biosphere Reserve.
Also, we have to consider that the Man and the Biosphere Program and the St. Mary's Biosphere Reserve, it's special, it's something special. Within this small area, and this is just about 4,000 hectares of land, we have so many features that includes high biodiversity, a very rich history and heritage, as well as very culturally diverse area. And some of these key features include the leatherback turtle that nests at Keys, and that's an endangered species. We also have areas such as the Spooner's cotton ginnery, which was the only cotton ginnery in St. Kitts. And then we also have areas like White Estate, farms at Green Hill. There's a high concentration of farms within that specific area. And then we can't forget our people. We have some of the greatest artists and musicians from St. Kitts and Nevis, and a lot of the music and arts that's produced throughout the island, it's concentrated right there in that very small area. So it's very important for us to not only protect and preserve, but to recognize ways in which we can use some of these natural resources as well as some of the cultural aspects and elements to empower our people. So it's about creating sustainable livelihoods as well as preserving and protect what we have. And that's why it's so very important, this program, for not only the residents of the area, but for St. Kitts and Nevis on a whole.
Meanwhile, Ms. O'Loughlin disclosed that the Man and Biosphere consultant will be in the Federation in the coming days to meet with some of the relevant stakeholders, including government ministers, as efforts are being made through the local UNESCO office to strengthen the capacity of the beneficiaries of the St. Mary's Biosphere Reserve.
Keep your eyes out, because we're going to be having a series of meetings and consultations with very important experts of Man and the Biosphere programs throughout the world. Her name is Miss June Marie, and she's going to come to St. Kitts and Nevis to discuss with some key stakeholders a way forward. Final output of this program will be a management plan for which we are going to propose over the next 5 or 10 years or so, how we're going to further develop the area of the St. Mary's Biosphere Reserve to truly be the success that we know it has the potential to be. So between the dates of October 22nd and October 30th, we're going to be having a series of meetings and consultations, and then it's going to climax in a workshop on October 30th, and that's going to include some of the residents and key stakeholders of the St. Mary's Biosphere Reserve communities, which includes Keys, Keyon, Atlees, and Canada Estate.
Those efforts under the auspices of the local UNESCO office are designed to improve the visibility and branding of the St. Mary's Biosphere Reserve, while highlighting its importance to its immediate residents.